We did. Well, they did. And I'm very excited. Outside the museum, they've got 2 giant play tanks. They've got a Centurion and a Mark V, I think. And you can go inside them. And yeah, that's outside, so let's leave a little time to come out and do that. There are some tanks outside to have a look at as well. There's one over there, and there's 1 or 2 in the car park. Unless people came here in them. And it's so military here that even the bins have a rank. General waste. I'm going to go in. See some really cool tanks today. They've also got a little shop. Everyone loves a little shop. So we just got our tickets. And over here they got a copy of Da Vinci's tank. Made out of wood. Now we're going to the best bit, which is a big sign which says, "To the tanks." Now we're talking. So we've just come into the World War I exhibition. And they've got those stamp things which you put a card in and you can stamp them as you go around. Who are you as tall as? Sydney Hadley, the shipping clerk. Oh wow, look at that! Like on Harry Potter.
That's quite a standard. I didn't expect so much attention. No, alright. Who was the boy who marched alongside us?
It looks like we're in France now. Heading to the front. Some big tins of roast beef. And we're now heading into the trenches. Big rat running along the top of the trench there. Front line or easy alley. So let's go to the front line. The duckboards on the floor. There's no man's land. And an easy alley. It's the Commander's HQ. We came around the corner then, they were shooting at us. So we're now going further and further into the trenches. That's where you sleep. Oh yeah.
He's on the domino.
That's where you'd sleep. Well, I think that's where the officers would sleep. I don't think the people like you and me would sleep in there. That was for the officers. So the people in charge to sleep in. Oh, look at this. Oh wow, coming around the corner, look at that. Can you imagine being a German in the trench and seeing that come towards you? He's a German. See what's happening is, yeah, because they just see this, because this is nobody had seen anything like this before. Like, can you imagine coming around, you know, being in your trench and all of a sudden seeing that coming towards you? They do. They're very real. As we said, the theming is absolutely incredible here. Follow the footprints on the ground. Can you? I think they had around about 8 people in there, 8 men in there.
8 men just to operate one vehicle.
Yep.
We can go in that tank. I feel like going in tanks is a good place to go.
This is a diorama. You can see this, a model of the battleground. The Battle of Cambrai, 20th of November, 1917.
There's tanks on it as well.
It is.
Really high detail on all this.
Yep. Oh wow, you can actually go in that one, can you? Size that engine. Oh, you can go in that one. It's a Mark V male. It's 2 variants, the male and the female. I think the male had cannons on it and the female had machine guns. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I've always wanted to do this. Right, life goal. I've always wanted to go into a tank. Gotta try and squeeze in. I'm not a small chap. I've got a big bag of picnic stuff on my back. So, look at the seat. An engine. Look at the size of that drive shaft. Wow. It's incredible. Very small. We're now good looking tiny, which is one of the stretched tanks. Oh, life goal again.
Dad, come here. You can see everything.
Oh, wow. Right.
Just watch your head.
I'm going to have to take my bag off and come back in. Give me a second. With the bag removed, I can now go into a World War I tank. Oh, wow. It's incredible. I wish I could stand up.
No.
Oh, there's Mummy in there, look.
What? You! What is it?
That-
Enemy.
I don't know what that is. If anyone can answer what that is, that would be great. It could be the cooker. Because they had little... I don't know whether it did have them in this model. I know
Mom, come back here.
other tanks did.
Hi, Mom. Hold my hand.
Wow. So life goal ticked. We're in a Mark V. There's the engine. It's such an incredible machine. You know, considering that it's well over 100 years old. Wonderful. So they have a model. You're gonna press the button? So that's what it looked like when it moved. See it firing as well. You gonna press it, Matt?
I will.
So I recorded Edward doing a TikTok on our YouTube video. Very meta, very meta. A brilliant model is that though, look at that. You want to press it again? Do you know what? I can happily watch that all day. Yeah. The gun shoots. The tracks go round. And over here they've got something really cool. They have some cool pictures on the wall, but what's really brilliant is they have cases of medals, and you can just pull them out and have a look at them.
Those are medals there.
They are.
They were soldiers.
That's right. Well done, Mark.
Those are just so much.
Do you want to pull out a drawer and have a look? A war horse. I was driving the bus. So they have a great exhibition of war horses as well, made out of metal. Oh, what's this? Hornsby train tractor. Oh wow, look at that. It's probably one of the first tracked vehicles. With the assessed against a horse and gun team. Well, the War Office didn't purchase any more, so they put all their trust in horses by the looks of it. The radiator on that. That radiator is bigger on the engine than the engine on my car. Look at this. 2 World War I soldiers. There's a small section where you can try on the uniform. 2 up that coat, boy.
Huh?
2 up that coat. Standing in front of the tank. You can go up here and look at what it'd be like to look out over the battlefield. And then there's also a tank you can kind of go in. What's it look like? How's this?
Really cool.
Enjoy that? There's a really cool. So some horse saddles you can try. And over here I think this is a Rolls Royce armoured car. Yes it is. Before that, look at this. Independent heavy tank. Top speed 20 miles an hour. It's a speedy one, that one. So now moving to a more modern tank. This one went faster, this went 20 miles an hour, that one. It is. And then this one, do you know what this is?
How fast did it go?
Well, this, do you know what it is? That's not a tank at all.
A car?
It's a Rolls Royce. So what people do, the rich people, they had Rolls Royce cars, and if they sent their kids to war, they transformed them, isn't it? Oh no. It's a truck, I'm completely wrong. So it's a peerless truck. Let me change that into a tank. So now entering World War II section. Oh, it smells. Oh, it smells amazing. It smells like rubber and oil and tar.
Older.
They do. So how old is this one? So this is a Matilda tank. So this is, it doesn't say, does it say when it was built? Oh, there you go. Its arm was proof against any anti-tank gun in 1939, so it was probably around about that time. So it was called Demon. Look at the eye painted on it. Some chaps enjoying a cup of tea and looking around the museum. This was called Adamant. It's got a Rolls-Royce Meteor. The Meteor was the land-based version of the Merlin, which was in the Spitfire and Lancaster. Very powerful engine. Oh, so is it? A table. Oh yeah, 6 years of tank development. So from a 70 horsepower engine to a 600 horsepower engine. So that engine created 600 horsepower, incredible. Machine gun on the front and a massive cannon. And go into the little cinema. I don't think it's showing Gone with the Wind, it's showing some kind of war film. Theming in here is incredible. So the car I thought was the Rolls-Royce a moment ago, which I was wrong. You actually do have the Rolls-Royce one here though. So you can tell it's Rolls-Royce because it's got the Rolls-Royce badge. And it's converted from a normal car into a tank. And you got the amazing, powerful Rolls-Royce engine in there. It's how moving it along, but it didn't move it along at a great pace. And then over here you got a Bison, which is a lorry, as you can tell. I think it's got cement on it. Let's have a quick look. It's a Thornycroft lorry. Yeah, they're built by the Concrete Limited Company. So instead of having metal armour, they had concrete, which would have made this so heavy. So heavy. It's like a mobile castle. Still really cool though. Great bit of innovation. Thinking much in the way of a side view mirror or a side window. So this is a nightmare for a blind spot, but still really cool. And got this little bad boy here. Tiny little thing. Not much bigger than a Mini by the looks of it. This is, don't know anything about this one. This is Standard, so it's made by Standard. And the Beaverette. Light reconnaissance car. Still really cool though. Really cool little section. These are kind of more improvised things, which were originally cars or trucks or something like that, and they were converted into military use. I'm looking handy stores. To how much this stuff is rationed. And then we've got birds on the wall. Cat doesn't look healthy. Bit of George Formby playing on the radio, can't fault that. And you've got a bit of a setup of home during World War II. So you're in the air raid shelter now, are you? Are you the wardens, are you? You've got the warden hats on, so you've got to make sure everybody gets in to the shelters and everybody turns their lights off. Because if you've got planes flying over the top, you don't want them to see your lights, do you? No.
Oh wait, it's all clear. That's the all clear.
Oh, it's all clear. Fine. It's great to go. That's brilliant. So this is May 1940. So they're all kind of put into order here. So we've got a Panzer I command tank. It's a German tank. Samoa. Over here, a Guy armoured car. Bit like a Ferret armoured car. See where they got the kind of inspiration from. It's very high. Go over some proper terrain with that bad boy, and then over here we've got some real beauties here. It's an Italian tank, I think. Caro Amato. It didn't really stand a chance against the British tanks. And you've got Matilda 2. What's this? What is it? Oh, that's really cool. This museum is brilliant for things like this. Loads of little... Yeah. How do they get a tank up on there? Some driving skill. Operation Crusader, so we're now moving into 1941. Got a Stuart light tank. Still a beefy looking gun, but it looks a bit like a pea shooter compared to some of the other guns we've seen. The Valentine Mark II. Oh, look at that, personnel carrier. You see these kind of in the Indiana Jones films and stuff like that. The half track. Operation Crusader was used. Didn't give it much of a catchy name, but it's still very, very cool. And we've got this, the Caro. Wow, look at that, that's tiny. These used in Africa until Africa surrendered in 1942. Well, not Africa, but troops in Africa surrendered in 1942. Great victory. A Dingo Scout car. It's the Yap raid in 1942. Another Panzer. Oh, this is what I've come to see. Over here. Churchill Mark II. Look at that. Such a cool looking tank. Look at the thickness on that metal inside. Got a bit of metal moth beneath the nut at the top. A little bit of rust has corroded away. And we've got a white scout car. I would love a go at driving that. I'd even more love a go at driving that. And because this tank here was it was kind of like a flamethrower, there's the big fuel tank on the back. We've got the M3 Grant over here. And that's a chunky tank. The size of that thing. Oh, you may be able to have a look inside. Hopefully, yes you can, brilliant. Oh, look. Seat like off a tractor. Doesn't look particularly comfortable. And you've got command seat in there which looks considerably more comfortable. I'm assuming that's where the commander would go. So the commander gets the better seat. There's the Crusader Mark II, and look at the size of that gun.
This is D-Day where we took France back.
Yep, so all those brave men on D-Day, 6th of June 1944, took back France and started pushing the Germans back towards Germany. And these are the cool tanks which went across on the beach. So Sword Beach was the British, and the Canadians had Juno, we also had Gold, and then America took Utah and Omaha. And these were some of the tanks which were used. So we've got one with a bridge on the front of it. We had one which we had a big bobbin on the front of it and laid down a canvas roadway over the soft clay. Oh, look at that. So that took out mines. So if you had a mine in the ground in front of it, you do want the people to stand on it.
No.
They all move, do they?
Do I go again?
Yeah. So that one is an amphibious tank. So that went up around the tank, so it'd be like a big boat. They weren't very successful.
But it did help.
Still cool. And this one laid down a road made out of cloth so they could drive over it. And this one laid down a bridge. You can press that one. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Which one's your favourite? The bridge, the road, the mine clearing one, or the boat tank?
I'll take this one.
Which one?
That one. And that one.
What's your favourite, Edward?
My favourite out of all is this one. This one.
So my favourite's this one. I think it's really cool to lay down a road made out of canvas.
I think it's this one. But my favourite is the boat.
So we're now liberating Europe. So I think there's a bunker you can go into. We'll have a look at that in a second. Oh, there you go. You're going to go in the bunker? Who's on the phone? Hitler? Tell him to bugger off.
And you crack the code.
The code breaking.
Enzo.
Enzo? What does it mean?
Brother, I'm
The
gonna
Italians
tell
are coming.
you, Brother, I'm going to tell you what he said. You're going to copy it.
It's got a really cool armoured car. Bit big for a car. Oh, there's a Churchill. Look at that. One of my favourite tanks. Later on, you do get to see the more modern tanks, but oh, that's so cool. The museum does a lot of top 5 tanks. I think the Churchill would be in mine, and the Mark V we saw earlier on from World War One. Sherman. I'm assuming this is a Sherman. Hope I'm right now. It's quite embarrassing if I'm not. Yes. Mark 4A1 Sherman. So many of these were built. Number built 49,234. Don't forget that 4. The most produced tanks. Reminds you of a big overturned bathtub. And there's the mine clearing tank we saw in the models just a second ago. There's so much for kids to do here. Over there they've got some toy soldiers you can put out on a model of the ground. Someone's not happy with the toy soldiers though, they're a bit upset about it. And then over here you've got, what's this? Have a look at the people, see a model of the landings. That's really cool. Operation Infatuate. The Buffalo. Landing tank. On the ground there's footsteps or paw prints for you to follow. Really cool. Look at this, a weasel. It's a carrier. Not much armour on there. Thin pane of glass. It's already got a crack in it. Oh, and you've got the Chaffee. Oh, the Jagdpanzer. Quite a complicated tank from what I understand. It's got a Chaffee. It's got a Valentine Archer with some funky looking grill. Ram Kangaroo. Some camo netting on it. It's a bulldozer. It's a Centaur dozer. You wouldn't want to get in front of that, would you? It's a Russian tank, T-34. 58,000 of these beasts were made. Look at that. What you lack in features, you make up in numbers. Soviet flag. What's this in here? Look at that, beautiful. There's loads of videos playing stories which are absolutely wonderful. And a Centurion. Oh, again, the smell in here smells of that paint and iron. The size of the tracks on that. Some really brave men shown on screens with their medals and things on display as well. Let's move on to the next bit. loads of great interactivity here. It's amazing how close you can get to the tanks. I mean, look at this. You just get up and right close to all of them. There's a remembrance section here. This is really beautiful. Tiger tank, the German tank. Oh, you've got some German tracked vehicles over here. Missed this section. I've never heard of this one before, the Great Swan. Oh, a battle. Staghound, Humber Scout Car, Goliath. There's a Tiger too. Very, very nice looking tank. The size of it is huge. Again, looks like something you see in Indiana Jones movie or something. Very reminiscent of that kind of thing. Tanks for the memories, the tank in popular culture. So this will probably be tanks in movies, things like that. Oh, look at this. Another Mark 4, is it? Oh, look at that. A tank carousel. Can you get in? How cool is that? Another World War I tank. This was a replica. From Warhorse. It's a replica tank from Warhorse. Attention to detail is incredible. Look at that. You got the Sherman tank from the movie Fury. A really good film if you ever get a chance to look at that. Look at that. Happy Father's Day. So we are here on Father's Day. You've got loads of dads who are being treated to a look around. Type 59. A Sherman tank. Where's this from? Special read.
She became the chief news correspondent at the BBC and reporting
This tank.
major wars around the world.
Also was the Chinese tank, the one in Tiananmen Square. Somebody stood in front of it to block it. Very, very brave person. Ferret Scout car. Using the Troubles in Northern Ireland. Amphibious tank. Wow, look at that. Oh, now this is nice. This would be in my list of my top 5 as well, I think. Scorpion. For no reason other than it just looks really cool. Looks really good to my eyes. With the wing mirrors. Very cool looking tank. Oh, look at this. I have to zoom out on that one because it's massive. That's what this one is. Centurion, is it? Yep. So it featured in things, or was inspiration for things like Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, The Prisoner. Massive beast of a tank. Last one in this section, we've got the AMX-13. Don't know too much about that one. French tank. They've got some brilliant things here. Look at this 1950 style dining table. I'll show you in a second. They've got a TV set from the 60s and very 60s style. They've got some action men on the floor there. Got some toys. Oh, let's look at these toys. So they've got some action men out and some tank toys for the kids to play with. And they've got all the model cars here. So cool. So cool. Loved all those when I was a kid. So they've got some blocks and things. And what are you making there, Mark?
The tank.
You're going to tank out of Lego. You can buy these in the shop on the way out. Oh, look at that. It's a cool little tank. I think we saw that just now. So we're going to go through the movie section again. We're going to go through the... Where are we going now, Edward? What was it? Gaming Zone. Tank Girl. Great film. Weird film. Great film. Looks like Action Man. No tank. World of Tanks for the game you can play, which is really good. Oh, we're now going down to the gaming zone. Oh, so it's closed for the moment, which is a shame. Looks like it's closed for the moment. Set by here. Yeah, it's all closed. It's a bit of a shame. But it looks like you can play World of Tanks over there. And they've got a cutout of a tank here. Oh, it's a shame. Sorry, Edward, it's closed at the moment. But there is an arcade machine over by here, which we're gonna wait our turn on and give this a go. But normally it looks like you can play World of Tanks here. So maybe we'll give this retro console a go. You're good at that. So they do have a little cafe, some seats, slushies and things like that. And then they've got some more modern tanks in this section. So this is the Gulf and Afghanistan war. They do have a soft play, but that looks like utter carnage. You get souvenirs and pressed pennies over there. You get a bulldog with its armour on the side. A tortoise. I haven't seen that before. It's a really nice piece of kit, that though. The Khalid is an improved chieftain with a better engine. I've seen that one before. Really weird looking camouflage on that one. Challenger 2 main battle tank. By far, best tank in the world. Best tank in the world. And a chieftain. And a heavy gun tank, a Conqueror Mark 1. But yeah, I do love the chieftains. But that Challenger, look at that. Beautiful tank. So I'm going to go into the Afghanistan section. That sign. All the places. An ATV, a Jackal, really nice piece of equipment. Oh wow, never remember what these things are called. Like you see them in the Arctic and places like that, and really inhospitable places where they're articulated in the middle. So you can find a sign for it. I can't see a sign for it, unfortunately. If you know what this is, please let me know. It'll drive me absolutely mad otherwise. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Myself, I can put it in about 2 minutes.
A Viking.
So yeah, to take a picture, it needs to be static for
All-terrain vehicle.
and make it more vulnerable to the enemy.
Wow, it's a damaged piece of equipment there. A Panther. It's been shot. Look at all the bullet holes in the side.
GPMG or a 50 cal can be fitted to the mount also.
Over here. For a scimitar. And a scimitar Mark 2. Oh, what are you doing, Marth? You're starting up here. Where are you going? You don't know? It's really cool, isn't it? A quad bike. Oh, you're going in the boot there, loads of guns and things, is it? In the trailer. You're gonna have a go now, are you, Edward? Oh, down to the squeaky wheels. It's really cool. It's brilliant. It's good exhibition. Really great day out. Really enjoyed my Father's Day. Best present ever. Looking at tanks. That kind of thing. We've got another small section over here, which is all about Afghanistan, communicating with home and things like that, and personal hygiene. You hear soldiers talking about it. Brilliant. There's a shower. It's where the army people sleep. They got SpongeBob bedding. And then an army bed. They look quite comfy. They're probably not, but they look quite comfy. And they've got, oh yeah, a dartboard with British flag. Yeah, this is another little section which I missed of the, some tank tracks, are they? Another little section I missed of the Afghanistan section. Some ghillie or camo netting, whatever it's called, I really don't know. What is it? I'll keep them happy playing games, good for morale.
Yeah,
Keeps you
cards.
cheerful, doesn't it? And Scrabble. That's all for Helmand. Mastiff, Scimitar, Panther, names of all the different machines. So we did do the museum a little out of order. You can go left when you first come in or right when you first come in, but we chose to go right through the World War II World War I trench section. But this is the main part of the museum there, where they've got some of the cooler exhibits. They've got the Chinook over there, I think. Straight ahead, the grey, the German battle tank, World War One. Oh no, it's not. No, that's Little Willie. Ignore me. Oh wow, it's another tank I wanted to see. (1915). The first tanks go into production. Such a cool little tank. Little French tank, I'm assuming. Renault FT17. It's a funky little thing. There's a QR code you can scan. Feel free if you want to scan it. Then we got a Mark II. Wait for the crowd to disperse, then we'll have a look at it. First of all, let's have a look at this one. The Renault sees its second war. And the medium Mark II, or medium Mark A. It's a funky little machine, that is. Little Willie is what I've always wanted to see. Look at that. One of the first tanks. So let's go over to this. So this is a cutout of a Mark II.
Which tells him to go into neutral gear. Then it gives me 2 fingers up.
And you can press the button. Still press the button.
Same to you, Chuck. But it really means me to go into second gear.
And there's a
I tell you,
basket
the first few times
for
we
the
tried
pigeons.
It was a proper song and dance. Still, you've got to be quick when you're in the middle of a battle. So as soon as I get the gear in, the driver locks the differential, lets up the clutch. The commander holds back on the right brake lever.
Massive engine.
And round we go.
I'm Sergeant Laird, driver of this thing. Mind you, it's not like driving a car.
Doesn't look like he's driving a car either. Right, so look over here. There's a Crossley Chevrolet armoured car. Now Shearer. Some chunky tyres. Protection for the radiator. And the Lanchester Mark II armoured car. It's a weird looking thing, that. Look at this. Right here. Cardin Lloyd Carrier. And yes, I did pause. I can't remember what V1 is in Latin numerals. 6? 6. Yeah, 6. Let's go for 6. Look at that. I would not want to go into any kind of battlefield in that. Because my god, I'm a tall guy. My head would be sticking out right out on the top. Ready for anybody to just shoot at. And I got a big head as well. It's more of a carrier rather than a military, like an attack vehicle. But still, I wouldn't want to be in it. Even though it's got a cool little, is it a Browning or some kind of machine gun? Or Vickers. Either way, it's a cool little machine gun. So we're now in another World War II section. We've got a Panzer II. It's the first time I've ever got up close to a Panzer. I always thought they were much bigger than they actually are. I thought they were a much bigger tank, but they're actually quite small. Quite surprised by that. It's a cool looking thing though. Really cool looking thing. These were obviously really successful. But I always thought the Panzer was a lot bigger. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong Panzer, because it's a Panzer II. So we've got over here. This thing. Well, that's rusty. Or perhaps it's a special type of paint. This is the Char B1. I know nothing about this tank. Preserved until 1945. Oh, it was made by Renault. So I'm assuming it's a French tank. Quite a pretty thing. Handsome looking tank. And we've got a light Mark VIB 6B, 4B, 2B, 10B. That's a place in Wales, isn't it? No, I haven't got a clue which one it is, but small little tracks, big exhaust. That's a very nice looking tank. It's a Cruiser Mark III, A13. Very nice. Very nice. And they've got like lots of things you can do around here. Like we said, you can build a tank out of Lego. There's loads of stuff to keep the kids entertained, which I was a bit worried about, because I was worried about that it's going to be a bit of a boring thing for the kids, but it really is not a boring thing for kids. The kids absolutely loved it. Probably loved it more here than they have at some theme parks. What's this? Ah, Tiger. Now that's big. Now the Panzer, I thought it was quite small, but the Tiger, look at that. It's a unit and a half. And look at the shells that fired. You wouldn't want that coming towards you, that's for sure. There's lots of little things, which I won't show you, but there's those little things around, like, you know, you've got an Africa Corps badge there. There's some really rare things, you know, like belt buckles, shaving kits, and they give you a little bit of story about the people who fought and gave their lives. Again, something you see in like a Indiana Jones. Don't know why. Always reminds me of Indiana Jones. I know I've said that a few times, but it just does. I've never understood the point of these things. Never understood it. I know. Should we put a motorbike on the front of a tank, but make it really, really small? Yeah, that's a great idea. What are we going to use it for? Don't know. We'll worry about that once it's made. Then we've got a really cool battle-worn tank here. Let's have a look what this is. It's another German tank. Panzer III. Oh, so perhaps the Panzer II was smaller. I don't know. This looks bigger. It looks as big as the Tiger over there. Very effective tank. Oh, look at this howitzer. Is it a howitzer? I'm assuming it's a howitzer. Some kind of massive gun anyway, either way. Nope. It's a Panzer Abwehr. Abwehr? I don't know. Looks great though. I have not got a clue what that is. I haven't got a clue about the country that's from. The flag, all of this looks very odd to me. Any idea what this is? It's a Marmon Harrington Mark IV armoured car. I wonder if it was an armoured car. It looks very tanky, but there you go, it does have wheels. So, right, let's give this section a go over here. Another German tank. Oh, this section's really cool. I already know I'm going to enjoy this section. And you've got some really cool shells and the guns which fired them. That's a cool display. I'd love that in my living room. Leopard tank. I'll look some more in a minute. It's a really cool chieftain. An Alvis Scorpion. That looks really cool. So when things just look right, and they are, you know what the saying is, if a plane looks right, it's going to fly really well. I think that looks cool. That looks like a really cool little tank. The T-62, which I'm assuming is going to be Russian, based on the name. It is a classic Russian design. Much more advanced than the other Russian tank we saw earlier on, by the looks of it. Still really good. And how many of these they made? Probably loads and loads and loads of them. Still in service. Does it say number of made? No, not that I can see. Bit of a shame. But that's the shell it fires. And that's a great looking tank. Great looking tank. What's this? Challenger 2. Thought it looked familiar. British tank. beautiful tank. Excited on. I think it's gotta be my top tank. Surely. It's gotta be everybody's top tank. Cool little Jaguar engine. Some little, is this a Daimler Ferret? It's in United Nations colours. The T-72. Russian again. They're still in service as well. We've got this. Don't even know what that is. It's got to be Elvis. It's got to be British. It looks British. This is a Saladin armoured car. Yep, British. And yep, that one over there was a Daimler Ferret or a Ferret Scout car. The United Nations colours. It's an Abrams? Not an Abrams, I don't know actually. It's an American tank, of course, so let's have a quick look, see what it is. Ah, M48 pattern. Look at this over here. Centurion. Another great British tank. What have we got here? A Churchill Crocodile. They got little phones around the place you can lift up and you can hear the stories of people who drove them. And then we've got, like we saw in the models earlier on, one of the amphibious tanks using the D-Day landings. Amazing that they can get something of that weight to float. Still can't get over it. Alright, so we've got something here. You can get in and be a driver. Am I going to do it? Will I fit in there? 2 questions. We're going to find out right now. So to answer the questions, will I fit? And can I drive it? Let's try. Tight squeeze. And if I fit, I sit. Right. Got your scope by here. Your accelerator here, I'm assuming. And you've got your pedals here to lock the tracks, left and right. Possibly. What's brilliant is you can do these things. And that's what makes this museum really cool. It's where else you get to sit in a mock of a tank and try and drive it. So at the front they've got a play area, which we'll show you in a second, but they've also got the Kuwait Arena, which is an arena I think they use for Tankfest. It says they do something on weekdays during the summer holidays. It's 1 PM, but it's, well, about, what's the time now? It's about 1:10 now. There's nothing happening here today, so it doesn't look like they do anything on the weekends. But yeah, well, a great day at the Tank Museum, so we'd strongly recommend it. What do you think of the Tank Museum, Marth?
Good.
Yeah, really good? Yeah, what do you think of the Tank Museum?
Really good.
Really good? How many thumbs up would you give the Tank Museum?
Lots.
Lots of thumbs. And how many thumbs up for you?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Brilliant.
I'm gonna go inside the tank. So when you go in, there's something in the wall about, I think, this tank. There was also the cockpit, seat, pedals, handbrake, and then up there you can climb across the tank. It's really cool. A little bench. You do have to be 7 and up to go in here. Then this is the tank for the younger. There's loads of buttons and stuff. There's things. I don't really know what they're for. Tell me in the comments what they are. and there's a picture thing which are really hard. And once again, you can climb across the top of it. There's another angle viewing inside. It looks like there's a photo of this tank again, a Flying Scotsman.
So that's it for us. So thanks for watching, everybody. Comment a like, yep. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. And for our next adventure, we're going to be...
You have to subscribe to find out.
You will. You have to subscribe to find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye.